Hello, Steph here from Hofkissed. I made it. Yay! Sorry, I had to postpone so many times today. Life has been a little bit nutty recently. And then I forgot that I had to feed my kids dinner today. It happens. So I had to do a little bit of parenting, and then we scarfed down our dinner, and I threatened my children not to come down because I'm doing a video. So we'll see how that goes. This is the card that I designed and posted earlier today. I am using, let's see, Magical Mermaid. Love this stamp set. Love the mermaids. And I just, actually, I'll show you what I used here on the background is some bubble wrap. And it was just lying around, and so I thought that I would do something with that, and it just kind of morphed into this card. So let's get started, and I will show you how to do this card. I am using, nope, let's not bring that in yet. I am starting with a piece of Whisper White, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I have 2 blocks here that I just adhered some bubble wrap to. And I'm going to be using Blackberry Bliss and Balmy Blue. Alright, so all I'm doing, I'm using this, well, getting it, you know what this is going to mean when I have it on my fingers already. I'm going to get it onto my project. Okay, starting with Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just rotating and using the bubble wrap as a stamp. And I'm just adding it and rotating. Let's do some more down there. And then I'm going to set that aside, keep my fingers out of it. I'm bringing the Balmy Blue, and same thing, I'm using a different bubble wrap and inking it up and doing the same thing. And you know, now I'm seeing that I think I did the whole card first in Balmy Blue, so let's just go over that. And keep going till you have the look that you want. And then I also did it on the inside here at the corner. So while we have the Balmy Blue, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm using a Balmy Blue card base cut from an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock. So it's scored at 4 1/4, cut at 5 1/2. So the card will measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and inking up the Balmy Blue. Kind of like that. I like it much better on this side, on my original. Let's, okay, it is what it is. I don't like it. Let me get another card. Hold on. Magic. When you cut all your own card bases, you'll just have some more. Okay, let's see. I just didn't like how it was so dark. Oh, it's coming off. Okay, I like that better. See, look. I'm not crazy. It's better. Okay, I'll use that for something else. Okay, so now I'll bring back my original. And I'm not sure this was showing up. I've done some heat embossing here. So the mermaid tail, I stamped on the gold foil paper with stays on ink. So this stuff. And I went ahead and pre-did that because then I fussy cut the tail out. And then I also heat embossed some of this underwater seaweed maybe. So I will do that with you on camera. Right onto here. And because I've used a lot of ink here, and I mean you should always use an embossing buddy, but because I've laid down a lot of ink, you really want to make sure that you take the static out because you don't want the embossing powder to stick where you don't want it to stick. Okay, I've already gone ahead and mounted the image on the block, and I'm using Versamark ink, and I'm just, now you're not going to see this on camera because it's a clear ink, but it's there, and I'm just inking and stamping 4 times, and I've kind of went up, I've staggered it up, stamped, and then down and up and down. Okay. Then you want to dump embossing powder on it. So I'm using gold embossing powder. And now this will stick to the ink that I've just laid down. And you're probably still not really going to see what is happening there. More so because of the dark background that I've put on there. Alright, move that out of the way. And now I will come in with the heat tool, and this will get loud for a moment. And I will try to do this up close so you can see what happens. And here I wish that I could speed it up, but when you do a live video, it just doesn't work that way. But once the heat tool heats up, can you see how the color or the powder is melting and it's becoming shiny? And that's when you know when it's done. I feel like I need some elevator music or something when this is going. But this is much cooler than watching paint dry. This is heat embossing is what really wowed it for me when I first really got into stamping, and it's still a big wow for me. I'm not sure that you can really see what's happening because it's so dark. So it's probably not the best example if this is the first time you are seeing heat embossing. But it's really cool because it melts and then it has like a texture to it. So I'll just move that aside. And now you can, there we go. You see the shimmer. So like taking a photo or doing a video. Oh, there, let's move it over there. Let's find the light. Okay, so that's done. Now we can go ahead and glue that to our card base. Oh, I'm not even watching the comments. I'm horrible. Hi, Heather. No elevator music. Yeah, I'd rather listen to the heat tool too. Oh. Okay, good. You can see. It's always hard for me to tell looking through my phone, the phone screen, to see what you guys can see and not see. You know, like it looks like I've got a shadow happening here, but when I watch the playback of the video, then it always looks okay. So, all right. So now I'm also going to glue this mermaid tail down. Add a little bit of Tombow, and we'll stick it right there. So the mermaid is swimming in the ocean. Okay, I'm going to now bring in a scrap of white for the sentiments. Oh, that's not my original. So I did this one, and then on the inside I did this one using the same punch. And my punch would be, I don't know where it is, but here's a sentiment. You should see how disastrous my studio is. It's really crazy. Did I put it back? Yes. I unmounted it from my block and put it away. That's crazy. Anyway, my studio is a disaster because if you saw, I accepted to do a show in Toronto, vendor at a show, and I was filling in for a cancellation, which I was very happy to do, but it was kind of last minute, so I was scrambling to have enough stuff for the show, and I managed to do that with lots of late nights, but in the process I just don't have time to put stuff away, and my studio is a complete disaster. So I pushed everything aside for this Facebook Live, and I will be cleaning up my studio after tonight is done. But this is why I'm having trouble finding some of the items that I need, like the punch. All right, there it is. So I'm using this, what is it called? Label punch, label something rather. I'm so horrible, but I will post all of the products that I used in the comments. People found that helpful when I did that last week, so I will add that later tonight probably. So I'm just going to punch those out. Now, this one is just going to get glued flat on the inside. I'm not really going to do the inside because I'm not sure where my Mermaid stamp is. Somewhere on my desk. But I stamped the Mermaid stamp in Memento black ink after I had done this. The little starfish here is from, here we can see it better here. There's a starfish here, so I just isolated this starfish, and then I masked, where's that stamp? This one. I kind of just inked up this starfish here using the Versamark ink, and then I heat embossed those in gold. Okay, and then I fussy cut those out, and that's pretty easy to do because it's just several little triangles. And then I put it over top to add that little bit of gold there. So here on the inside, I added those as well. But for the front, just to keep with the gold and the scales on the Mermaid, I added some of this mini sequin trim here. So I'm just going to show you a little trick. So there is like a right side and a wrong side, sort of. So this is where all the stitching is. So I'm going to lay the right side down, and I'm just going to unwind it here and kind of do this little zigzag swirly motion. And I'm just going to lay that over top just to make sure that I have the right length. And I'm going to come in with my snips and just snip off the end. Now, I'm going to kind of gather it the way that I want and come in with some Scotch tape and rip off a piece. And then I'm going to tape that. So now it's all held into place. And when I flip it over, the right side will be there, facing up. And because I have the Scotch tape there, I can do that. And stick it to the back. Easy peasy. And you don't need to fuss with weaving it around or whatever, and it's stuck there. All right. Now, adding to the back are some dimensionals, which will also help hold the sequin trim in place. And if you want to like move it into place somewhere else, you can do that. And I'm going to add some dimensionals. Oh, one more there. Peel those off. Nails are still short, having trouble getting these guys off. Heather, I see your comments, but if I stop to read them, I'm going to lose my concentration. So I will go back afterwards and read and respond. That was a little bit long. All right. There we go. I did, want to see me fussy cut? This is an easy fussy cut. Do this quickly just to add it to the front. And then I cut 3 more and added those to the inside. So heat embossing. You love heat embossing. Don't like heat embossing? Oh, I don't know who would not like heat embossing. Have you seen heat embossing before? I love it. Glue dot, pressing my object into the glue dot instead of picking it up. That's going to cover my purple star. Lots of shimmer on this card. Lastly, I'm just going to add a few metallic and white sequins here. Stuck to me. Again, I'm taking the sequins and sticking it into the glue dot. That way the glue dot doesn't stick to me or anything else I don't want it to. Adding some of these. Let's see, another white one. Work in odd numbers, so I like 3s or 5s. In this case, I'm adding 5 sequins. Okay, adds even more to the front. And then, again, I'm not going to finish off the inside, but this is what the inside looks like. So, fussy cut a few more starfish, glued my sentiment flat, and there you go. Let me know what you think. I didn't get a chance to look through last week's comments, but thank you to everyone who took the time to comment. I will give that a look through. Did not get around to that to do a live draw, but I will do that. And thank you for watching. If you leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Wish me a happy Wednesday. Let me know what you think about heat embossing. Say hi, and I will draw a winner to receive some happy mail. So have a great midweek. Happy weekend.